Okay. 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 That's okay. Are we live yet? Yeah? Okay. You gotta let me know, Robert. You let me know before you press on, okay? Okay. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. And before we begin, I just want to make sure our camera is working and everybody is at home connected. Hi, Eric, standing by for live stream. Okay, so we are on the live stream. Okay. Let's see. So many things I want to cover today, but at the same time, I also want to make sure that we answer everything that you have in terms of questions, in terms of the practice itself. Have you done the meditation at home? Yes? 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 Meditation at home? You didn't, you couldn't, okay. Not every day, but you did it a few times? Yes? Okay. How did it go at home with the audio? Because the audio is a little bit more intense. I think it's almost an hour long. And how did it go at home with the meditation, with the return energy? How did it go? Very good. Yes.
And usually, before I mentioned,
yes.
when I did a meditation, I feel my body is very heavy and my feet nearly get numb.
Okay.
With this almost an hour, I didn't feel that.
Okay. Excellent. Now, just to mention, just in case, if the body feels very heavy, right, during the meditation, ask yourself a question. Maybe the body wants to go down on the floor. Okay, because the heaviness usually is one of the ways the body guides us. The body doesn't have too many ways. It can't talk to us, right? So it talks to us in certain signal signs, and one of the signals is heaviness. Heaviness often, if you let go of the body when you're heavy, guess what happens? What happens? You go down, right? So if the body is heavy and you kind of let go, just let go, what happens to the body?
Yeah, I feel my feet.
Right. So relax the knees and see what happens. When the body is heavy, the feet are heavy, everything, it pulls you down, right? It may not be in your case, but I'm just using this as an example for everybody else. At any time, if you're feeling heavy, and I do get new students often say, oh, I'm so heavy, I don't know why it is. And the heaviness kind of builds up and builds up and builds up. Chances are that if the heaviness builds up, that means that long time ago, the body already wanted to take you down, except, we're so used to controlling it, and we're doing it unconsciously. We're doing a lot of the control unconsciously, and slowly, it's not, there's no rush for it, but slowly, you will let go of that control, and you will see what else the body can do, because here it is. It is almost like, again, a formula. Once you let go of control of the body when it's heavy, and you allow it to go down, that means that you overcame that level of control issue of the body, period, which means that it will be able to show you more things. It means you already recognize the freedom to that degree, and to that degree, the body will also guide you to other things as well. So just as a rule, energy likes it when you notice it. So try to notice. Now, I say energy likes it when you notice it, and I know this is a more advanced class, so you don't really feel the energy. The truth is, what you feel is how your body senses the energy. So you're feeling the body and how it receives it. You don't feel the energy. The energy itself doesn't have any feeling. So we don't feel energy, even though we say that, right? So in our language, we say, I feel energy here, I feel energy there. You don't feel the energy, you feel how the energy changes your body, what signals you're receiving from the body as the energy flows. So you're actually listening to the changes of your body. You're not listening or seeing energy. That energy that we're talking about is tasteless, colorless, uh, timeless, right? It's we who are. As we reflect that energy, give it taste, give it sound, give it image, color, give it, right? So when you're looking at, let's say, and I'm kind of taking it a little bit wider so we understand better. You've heard of, you've seen aura. What is aura? Aura is not an energy. It's a reflection of your energy. It's a reflection of how you reflect the energy. And this is why when you're trying to change the colors of the aura, for example, what are you changing?
The way you reflect outside.
Are you? What are you changing? You're changing the reflection? You see what I'm saying? You're trying to change the reflection. It so happens that when, with your good intentions, right, and with your true determination and possible freedom, that you receive some benefit from doing anything. From doing anything at all. You receive some benefit, not because of whether you're doing it right or wrong, but because you have an intention, you have your goodwill, you have your determination, so you receive benefit. But when you are trying to change the colors of an aura, and I've seen people practice that, what are you changing? A reflection. It's like working on the screen, trying to change the colors of the screen, of the computer, on the screen. The colors are a byproduct of something. You have to change the way you reflect it, not the reflection itself. Otherwise, initially you're going to receive some benefit, but deeper, you're not going to get anything more. You won't go to the root, right? And so many people are. It's a confusion. It's a confusion, and it's confusion that comes very normally because we read ancient text, we read instructions, and we read one thing, we understand another. We understand based on how we are, and we see the world horizontal, and therefore we understand it that way, and we perceive that way, and that kind of becomes the way we do. It's easier. I mean, imagine if you had to tell everybody that is trying to change the colors of the aura that you can't change them. You have to actually go deeper into yourself, know yourself, and by doing that, it's a lot of work, and it doesn't make sense. It's clear. You do. So often that's what happens. Anyway, so just kind of an expansion of that. Okay, good. How did it go? The meditation themselves.
I find when there's no command,
Right.
I was distracted. I felt that my attention has to go somewhere,
Yes.
so it goes everywhere. So when you send the command, say, return energy, or I want to receive a lot of energy,
Right.
the kind of thing that you need me to do,
Yes.
I can focus on it.
Wow.
While you were talking, my attention went outside somewhere.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Good.
I wonder, I was trying to listen really carefully, but then it go away, and then it go away all the time.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just wonder how can I.
Okay. So there is a way, and there is a technique. First of all, we actually, you probably will be surprised, but that's exactly the meditation we did this morning in our morning meditation. I don't know if, yeah, right? It's exactly the meditation we did, where I separated the two aspects. One is with self-regulation alone, what happens to the mind, and one with the inner commands, what happens to the mind. And what I've said there this morning is that when you have regular self-regulation, your mind responds, actually gives an internal command, and it travels in different rims, and it responds to something that you what's called react to, run from. So everything that in self-regulation, without the inner command, the mind goes into basic survival mode, and basic survival mode means that it actually runs away from something. It tries to protect itself from something. So there's a protective thoughts that are happening. Even though it seems we're going towards something, but usually the reason is because it comes from the instinct. The reason is we're going towards something because we're trying to escape something else, another situation, another challenge, okay? So that's what happens, and it's normal. That's what the mind should do. That's what its, purpose for a survival level. When we give an internal command, we actually are guaranteed, right? And we're training our mind, okay, to take us towards something. Very important. This is why inner commands, inner keys are so important to take you beyond survival. With just self-regulation, you can't get there, even though it feels great to self-regulate sometimes, right? You just stand up and just the body goes, and, or you feel sensations, and you're excited about the sensation that you feel, and you feel the movement, and you're happy about that. It's all great, but without inner commands, you cannot get to the higher level. You cannot break through the ceiling, right, of the current state of where you are right now. Because what you want is to break through the ceiling, and then to break through the next ceiling, to break through the next ceiling, right? To be born again and again in this lifetime, to be able to look back and say, this was me, and this is how I saw the world. I still remember that, but now I have this much more. So I understand the old me, I still remember the old me, I still respect the old me from where I was, and now I'm able to go to the next level. Because this is the new me. And I've done it because I have expanded my self-identity in the meditation process. During the meditation, you expand your self-identity through the sensations in the body. So here comes your answer. Don't worry, I didn't forget to answer you exactly, okay? I'm just extending this to make sure that it's a long-term benefit, right? So we expand our self-identity through the sensations of the body. We have sensations in the body during self-regulation, and we have sensations in the body during inner keys, or following the inner keys. Seemingly, those sensations are very similar to us, right? But they're not the same because their reason of being is opposite. One sensation is survival need, right? Which literally is any shortcut just for instant gratification. After the inner key, we receive a new set of sensations, okay, which is part of growth, which is part of expansion of self. We listen to those sensations. There is a mechanism, the brain, okay, has a specific mechanism that once it recognizes those sensations become as a new vocabulary of senses, right? And that new vocabulary of senses now allows us, after we open our eyes, during our everyday life, this is why we separate meditation from everyday life. You cannot meditate and do other things at the same time. You cannot mix any other forms of meditation in it, because what happens is very often other forms of meditation have a benefit of some kind in mind, have a certain reward in mind. And we don't want a reward in the art of BIM meditation. We don't want reward. In a karma meditation that we are doing, we don't want to go after any reward. We want to be objective. We want to be free to receive what is. Okay? What is that we are receiving during the meditation is a new set of sensations of the body. So right now, we have just, our last lesson, we have just built ourselves to a point where we are ready to go beyond survival. Okay, because we now know how to work with something we call return energy. It's no longer receiving, it is giving to receive. It's the next stage of our evolution. So I stress again, the most important element of your meditation at any time is your attention to the truth of the moment. In the truth of the moment, you will have movements or stillness. You will have great inner experience or silence. You will have heaviness or lightness or heat or tingling or pressure. You will have different kind of combinations of all of those and more. And color and anything else in front of your closed eyes, all of those are the building blocks, the new vocabulary that we're adding through the observation of our senses, all senses, including movements and postures that allow to expand those senses even further. There's the answer. Here it comes. Okay? Therefore, the moment we have a thought, okay, that comes to our mind, whether it is a thought that came from a self-regulation process, during self-regulation, thoughts come that support survival. Okay? Whether we clearly understand it or not, it doesn't matter. Thoughts that come during self-regulation are survival. There are thoughts that could come following inner keys, which they are a higher level of survival, let's say. Okay? Higher level. Because I can't say completely where the line is between, our survival and beyond survival, because it's a little bit more complicated for another conversation. Okay? But those thoughts are not an interference. I'll say that again. Those thoughts are not interference, okay, with your meditation. I'll pause for 1 second. I'll let her come in.
Sorry, I'm late.
So the thoughts that are coming in are not a disturbance to your meditation. They are part of your experience. There is nothing in your experience during the meditation that is wrong, that is not in place, and that is not timely. Nothing. So when I hear people say, I don't feel the movement, perfect. If there are no feeling of movements, there shouldn't be any. I have thoughts that come to my mind. Perfect. If there are thoughts that come into your mind at that moment, guess what? That is the truth of this moment. Perfect. Right? I have no thoughts coming. Perfect. Right? I have tingling. Perfect. I'm going down. Perfect. I'm standing up. Perfect. Nothing during the meditation could happen that is wrong. But, based on what I've just said earlier, the key, the purpose of the meditation is to expand your senses, available senses. Therefore, every time a thought comes, which is perfectly aligned with your need at this moment, you recognize that thought, right? You don't try and push it away. You don't try to ignore it. You don't try to do anything with it as you wouldn't do with a movement, as you wouldn't do with a posture, as you wouldn't do with a sensation. You know to do that with a sensation, not to push it away, but to accept it as it is, right? So you do the same thing with the thought. Accept. Because our purpose is not to develop thoughts. This is not what the purpose of our meditation. Some meditations, right, are geared towards, let's go into a special state and develop a certain thinking process. Let's become more creative in this process, of meditation. Let's use meditation to be more creative, to open our mind. Yeah, that's a different kind of meditation. It's great, it's working, but it keeps you on your floor. It doesn't, that kind of method or any other method that expends thought during meditation is working beautifully, but it keeps you in your own limits of yesterday. It keeps you in yesterday. So that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to achieve. We want to have a natural flow of thought, but from the higher level. We want to break through those limitations. We don't want to go in the mode of ups and downs again of yesterday. Therefore, you take the thought that you have. You recognize, oh, I have a thought about what I'm making for dinner tonight, right? Often, one of those thoughts, what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. Oh my God, I forgot to buy potatoes. Do I have onions? What time are they going to come? Right? I have to set the alarm in the morning. All of those thoughts, right, of survival thoughts that come. Perfect. They're timely. What you do with them is this. You recognize them, you acknowledge them, and then you put your attention back where? To the body. You acknowledge the thought, you catch it, you don't develop it into what else am I going to add to that soup, right? You don't, even though it may be a lot of fun, because here's a moment, finally, there's a moment for yourself where you could explore all kinds of interesting ideas and past experiences and all kinds of things. What a great opportunity, right? You don't use it as an opportunity to expand thoughts, because that's not what our purpose is, right? Our purpose is inner growth, beyond survival. To do that, we must expand the sensations, the available sensations in the body. For that, our attention should always be to the sensations of the body, to the truth. All right? So, at every stage that we are working with, we've reached a certain stage, there are higher stages. Every stage that we are working with, we're fine-tuning, right, the inner keys. By that, we are raising the bar on what type of expansion of sensations that we can achieve. There is an ancient method, I think it's a Buddhist method, they call it framing. They call it framing. And what they do is they literally frame the thoughts. Okay? So I'm kind of paraphrasing and also adding a little bit to what they're doing. What you do is this. You have a thought. Let's say, I forgot to buy potatoes, which is actually my thought, not yours. I forgot to buy potatoes yesterday and I bought them today. Okay? So got my potatoes. You have a thought of potatoes. You catch yourself, no matter what the thought is. You catch it and you name it. You name the thought. It's very, very important. You name it. How do you name it? Potato. Potato thought. You do it 3 times. You call it by its name 3 times. Once you call it by its name 3 times, you frame it. In other words, you frame it. Now, when we say framing is respectful. It's not disrespectful, right? What do you frame? You frame things that you enjoy, that you like, that are good. But once you frame it, by giving it a name, you give it its own life. You give your thought its own life. Now your thought and you are not the same. You let it go. You framed it. It has its own life, and you are free to go back and observe. Go back and observe, where did that thought, remember the order of things, right? So there is a sensation of the body that coincides with this thought at this moment. So what you're doing is you have a potato thought, you say potato, 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 you framed it, now it's free, and you are free. You bring back the attention to the body, and you observe where could that thought be related to the sensation in the body. And then you're back in the body. Here's the most important thing about this. I guarantee you that the moment the potato thought comes in, you're not going to catch it. You're going to catch it at the soup level.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch it at the potato level. You're going to catch it at the soup level. At that moment, right, you frame the soup. And don't get upset at yourself for not catching it at the potato level. Don't get upset. That's the key. Because the moment you decide to get upset at yourself for not catching your thought on time and being away from my word for so long, and you missed something, and what if you missed a key, and that the moment you start, right? The old routine of self-distraction that we usually do during our everyday life, the moment you start it, right, you are no longer going beyond survival. You're no longer raising your energy to the higher potential. You are now going against something, against yourself not catching it on time, against all those other times that you've done it, against the fact that you never can get it right, against all of those things, all of those thoughts start coming in, right? Listen to what I'm saying. First, thoughts are great. Second, you're never going to catch them right away. Third, frame whatever you catch it at. Say it 3 times. Go back to the body. Don't mutilate yourself. Don't be aggressive towards yourself, because it's normal. If that's what happened, that's what happened. It's good. You found the truth. And here is another layer. If for some reason you forget what I just said, and you start blaming yourself again, right? Which will happen in the beginning. Catch that thought. Observe in the body. You hear me? And catch yourself blaming yourself. Catch that. That would be even more powerful tool. Catch it and observe where it is in the body. Then you expanded your sensations. The tougher it is, the more vocabulary you gain. You hear me? Not the easier it is. The tougher it is, the more you gain. That means you're taking yourself to the limit, and it means you're doing it right. Does that make sense? Just that changes everything. Just that. Okay? So those are the differences. Those people who do meditations and they sit there and they force their body into a posture, and then the posture doesn't happen, and they start this dialogue inside. I can't believe I can't do this. I've been trying it for so long. And so on and so on and so on. Right? They're not meditating anymore. So that's very good. So we understand completely what to do with thoughts right now. And you'll remember the potato soup? Good. Good. Thank you. Did you do it at home? Did you watch the replay?
Yeah, no, I did meditation 2 times.
Okay.
I was very sick the last week.
Okay.
Very bad flu.
Wow.
But this week,
Yes.
like 4 or 5 times I did like
The return
daily-
meditation?
No, not the return one. The one which is a daily meditation.
Okay. Okay. One of the dailies?
Yeah, that one. That
Okay.
one I take good time. But I found the plastic thing is I could just really relax into it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't struggle with myself anymore. I don't use any force.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any resistance mind
Okay.
to it. I just really get what you mean by just everything is a progress.
Right, right.
So do not go against yourself. I
Right.
really could go into that state. I would not go against myself.
Right.
So for more like my conscious level is more, even though like I'm not doing meditation at daytime, if I go teach yoga, I do other things, I feel my conscious level is different from people. It's shifted.
Good, good, good. Okay. Good. Um, you got to do the return energy meditation.
Yeah.
You got to do it. Do you guys recommend her to do
Yes.
the return energy meditation? Yes? Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm ready to do it.
And why?
As I thought, to do one meditation before, because I'm doing the same type of a meditation for consecutive days, but every time I found there's different meaning to
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not bored with the old ones yet.
Okay. What can I say to that? If you're not bored, you're not bored. When you get bored, you do the return energy, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Have you done the return energy? Were you able to?
Just listen to the tape,
Right,
and because I don't have the computer, I have to go to my
right,
office,
right.
unfortunately. But what I noticed since last week, when there was the name calling, I found that I am more centered, more organized. Like even when I get up from my bed,
Yes,
I feel so much light,
yes.
and I just feel sometimes that I'm floating. Like the sensation of my body, since the accident, I always felt I was so heavy and with this. And now it's with the meditation and sort of feeling like I am not burdened whenever it is. But especially when I did grounding with base chakra, I
Yes.
think my body been really changing. Physically, I feel that I just get up and I feel so much lighter. And throughout the day, and even my friend says, Ellen, where do you get the energy? They notice. Even by the end of the day, I did walk before I came here just to, sitting in the car, sitting in the subway just to get. And I was really saying, my goodness, my body feels so light. Even in spite of my shoes, even in spite of my winter, I feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
Like it just amazes me, and also my friends says, Ellen, where do you get this energy? How can you do this? And I said, I do, and I'm enjoying.
Thank you. One of the comments I often say, somebody asked me, what does it feel like when your energy is higher, right? And I often give an example. You may like this. It often feels as if you are in love. Because when you are in love, guess what you're feeling? Light on your feet. When you're in love, you're non-judgmental. When you're in love, everything is okay. When you're in love, you don't see flaws in anything. Everything is workable, right? When you're in love, people notice. Because you're so light, you're so fluid, right? You're so up. So this kind of work, when you reach certain levels, you will feel very similar things.
I'd like to share one example.
Yes.
I was lying on the reflexologist table,
Yes.
and I had whiplash. I had a frozen neck, and around this area was very painful. So when he touched my big toe, which
Yes.
corresponds to it, it was excruciating pain. And I just said, oh, please leave this pain alone. And suddenly, when I was lying on the table, I felt that the pain that I experienced was actually lying next to me. it was a very strange sensation. And I said, I'm so happy I'm not feeling any pain. So when the reflexologist finished, he says, Eleni, where were you?
Mhm.
Because apparently he saw on my thing, I said, I didn't feel the pain.
Mhm.
The pain was like separate identity.
Mhm.
It only happened once, but I could still feel
Mhm.
how even disengage or disassociate from my body. I didn't feel a pain, but I felt the pain lying next to me and not being aware.
It's amazing, and I'll tell you, this story is very interesting, but I'll have to expand on that just in the context of what we are doing and when it comes to pain, so there's no misunderstanding, okay? There's two experiences that we have, which are separate experiences. Which are the two experiences? The experience of our everyday life, which is reflexology table, is the experience of everyday life. It's not experience of meditation, okay? Which is an experience of driving and walking and having fun with your friends, with your family, cooking dinner, art, music, dance, physical exercise, even yoga, depending on how you're doing it. They are more horizontal experiences that go inwards, okay? That experience, obviously, in those experiences, pain is not welcome. Discomfort is not welcome. And pleasure is welcome. Now, there's a separate experience. And the separate experience is our meditation, where we set a time to meditate. And in that meditation process, pain and pleasure have equal value. Because both pain and pleasure, guess what they are? They are triggers to expansion of self-identity through the senses of the body. They're nothing more than triggers, both pain and pleasure. Great sensations and painful sensations that your body may go into. They're both equally valuable. Why? Because it's not about them. Because we are not in our meditative state, we are no longer in the state of running away from pain towards pleasure. We are treating them equally as the truth of the experience of this moment, because they come from the inside, because it all is awakened from the inside, because when it's coming from the inside, you know one thing is true, that it's timely, that the experience has a greater value. So we observe the discomfort, we observe the pleasure experience, observe it, and what do? Go back to the body, use it as a trigger to inspire a new vocabulary of the senses. Expansion of self. Very opposite, very different. Yeah, does that make sense? So it's something that we must remind ourselves of all the time. And guess what will happen? I guarantee you that at some point, when you have discomfort, your mind will automatically try and avoid it. Try and wish it's gone. And if you will remember this moment and those words that I'm saying right now, if you'll remember them, you'll remind yourself at that moment and say, oh, I'm meditating. This is not my everyday life where I have the childlike I guess, ritual of avoiding pain and experiencing pleasure, where I'm looking for the sweet. If it's not sweet, I don't want to eat it because it doesn't give me pleasure, because my pleasure is purely instinctive. Right? That makes sense? So remind yourself. You will catch yourself trying to stay a little bit longer in this beautiful sensation. I wish it stayed a little bit longer. Catch yourself. This is not what we're here for. Yes, it's beautiful, but if you were here to get this sensation, it would be a different meditation, not this. In this meditation, we don't intentionally try and keep a beautiful moment longer than it has to be there. You notice the beautiful moment, you notice the beautiful relaxing sensation. Ooh, catch yourself to not abuse this and use it as, again, going back to the body, expanding the sensation, and allowing it to change, freeing it to change. You're feeling discomfort and pain and tiredness and heaviness and all of that. You catch yourself on that and catch yourself not wishing it to go away, but accepting it as it is. Using it as a trigger to go back into your body and sense whatever that is. And let the body go into a posture and let the body have a tingle and have the body do anything that it needs to do. Very important. And if you catch yourself, and forgive me for those that it's already redundant, and if you catch yourself trying to push it away or trying to keep it for a while, please don't punish yourself for that. Please don't punish yourself for that, because even that is true to the moment. Even that is you at this moment. If it wasn't you, it wouldn't happen. So accept this. And by accepting this, you are free. If you don't accept this, if you're still fighting yourself for not doing it right, quote unquote, right, there's no right, but how you did it. What's wrong is to open your eyes and go sit down on the couch and relax a little bit. That's not right, because then you're not in a meditative state. That's not right. Stay within the meditation. Go through the struggle a little bit. Right? Very important. So that's about pain and sensation of pain and the separation between the experience. You put your hand on a burning stove, you don't keep it there, please. I mean, Eric said that you should, let it change. No, don't. Don't burn yourself, don't cut yourself, don't inflict pain onto yourself knowingly. This is physical world, that's something else completely. During the meditation, it's a completely different experience. It has a different purpose. Your life, during your everyday life, has a different purpose. It's not there to enlighten you, forgive me. We want to be enlightened by living. But like I've said last time, it hardly ever happens. If it does, it's often a life and death situation. You don't want, how many life and death situations can you make it through? Why put yourself through this? If you're now aware and know that that's how life is, yeah? Good. Yes, your experience, maybe something that surprised you. Maybe if you can share anything that surprised you by doing the return energy on your own.
Not sure. Just the. I don't know. It's the same as the last time I did it when we were here.
Okay.
So I don't know if anything surprised me.
Okay.
It was voice felt really nice.
Okay. And after that, did you feel big, tall, big?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Sometimes we feel big sideways, but no, I'm talking big as in
Right, yeah.
taller and yeah. Good. Yeah. Have you done the return energy at home? Yes. How did it work for you? Anything surprised you at all?
I think I've needed to hear all of this a lot because I think I do attach way too much to the sensations, and then it's like, well, I felt this way in this room, so when I do it at home, I'm not actually getting this much, or I can't do it right, or it's not good enough, or it doesn't feel the same, instead of, and then going on that,
Tangent.
yeah. and stuff. So instead of it just being with it as it is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
Good. Good. So good. Good. So I could see you that the things I was saying that made hit home for you. Yes.
But always feel like before I wasn't doing it regularly, and now it's like thing, which I'm grateful for, and I always feel lighter and better afterwards, regardless. But it's like, okay, well, it's supposed to produce something in my life now, or these attachments that I have. But
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's like boiling a pot of water, right? And you want to make tea, and you want to drink tea now, but until it boils, no tea, right? It's no tea until it boils. So let it boil. No matter how much you want the tea, let it boil. Put your efforts into the boiling. You could be very, very close. Just let it boil, and then your tea is guaranteed. It's there.
You could do the meditation, keep doing it.
Just gotta keep. I will.
It's in stages, like boiling tea goes through stages.
Right.
Then you put the tea back in the water and you think, presto, there's still stages up.
Yeah.
And then
then it's too hot. You have to wait.
Yeah. You have to wait to drink it. And it's good. Okay. Thank you. Anything surprised you? Return energy.
I didn't do the return energy because I did the 3 morning meditations.
Right.
I did the one with us on Sunday.
Right.
So I have to get time to do those
Okay.
1 hour ones.
Okay. So in terms of the morning meditation, anything surprised you in them? Because I've shared a few morning meditations with the group. So, yeah.
No, they're always different. So today's movement was different today than I've had before. So.
Mhm. Okay. So what we said about sensations and the importance of sensations and the thoughts and not punishing yourself for whatever reason that you caught yourself, not doing it right, it made sense.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Like I don't worry about the sensations.
Okay.
It hasn't been a problem for me.
Good. So, have you done the return energy recently?
Not recently, but like a couple around before New Year.
Okay. So what would you say that for you at this stage of your development, what would be the most something that stands out in the return energy meditation?
So I always like from the day one that you introduced that into us. Like I remember that right now, like our first experience, that connection with the letters and names, especially with like my name, he's not pronounced same as home.
Right.
So I almost like I create my own new name.
Yes.
And but to me, it's always like opening tunnel to my new next level of potentials that I never knew would exist. And then, like uh, if you believe or you don't question, um, over time you find, oh my God, but it became part of my life, and then life it's on the next level of whatever I'm doing, and then I always stop and pause and because I'm analytical and compare past and current state of my life, and I say, oh my God, I grew and I'm better, or I don't react anymore this way or that way, or oh look, I I didn't think this would happen to me. And then like that would happen makes me cheerful. Like you feel you get some kind of feedback, and for things that I didn't receive and I really really wanted. Now I'm peaceful. Like I mean, no judgment, no sadness, nothing. So I'm finding that always like it's almost like a tunnel for me to reach on kind of like it feels like something comes to you right now because I'm very I like to listen to other people sharing the experience because like when you say like I've been doing chakra and you're so light and so strong, oh my god, like, I get goosebumps almost like I got this, so you inspire me to do again. So like it's almost like an exchange,
Right.
and this is what it's all about.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. The only thing that I want to comment about this is that always remember, because you will forget this, that the experiences during your everyday horizontal experience are not supposed to be equal or equal mindset to the experience during the meditation. It's a different world. And very often we mix the two. We forget. Separate them. Right? And keep your meditations holy. Keep them sacred. Keep them sacred. Sacred means keep them separate from your everyday. That's what I mean by sacred. Be very serious. Don't mix. Don't do other things during. Don't interrupt yourself. Really, really feel. Then you will achieve much greater result. Respect that time. Respect yourself in that time. And separate. Don't do a walking meditation. Okay, it's a different kind of meditation. That's not what we do. Right? So your awareness of life, your experience of your energy, your experience of the sensations, that's not meditation. Not the way we're doing it. The way we're doing it, very unique. Right? Where the goal is not a pleasant moment. The goal is not to escape from reality. The goal is not to receive similar sensations to what you received in class. The goal is not some kind of sensation that you heard someone receive. That's not your goal. Your goal during your meditation is only one: be in the truth of what you are experiencing. That's the only goal. Because the goal is expansion. It's a tool to expand yourself. It's not a time to receive any rewards. Very different. Right? The rewards you'll receive, guaranteed. You're guaranteed to receive your rewards. If you're doing it right, if you're keeping it separate, yeah? Guaranteed. Okay. And drop by drop by drop. Bit by bit by small steps, no rush, no hurry. Why? Where are you in a hurry to? If it's not if this is not a destination, where are you in a hurry to? It is this moment, truth, that's important. Where are you in a hurry? Once you receive the moment's truth, clear and more clear and more clear, you will become bigger than light again. Yes, Radha. Anything that you remember that return energy could kind of, yeah.
I haven't done it as extensively as we did in the class.
Right.
The return energies as collecting and returning.
Right.
I just noticing how it just feels always like a beginning, going from the beginning. For example, the mindsets that you explained. Well, when we learn them first time, they seem natural usually, and then it seems to be working, and it feels like that's something that has been learned. But then, notice even days later, remembering something makes a difference. Just the memory of something that you pointed to. Sort of an instant difference in feelings. And I get surprised. How come it didn't? I thought, okay, I was over this, and now it again makes seems to be important thing that I thought we covered it. It's kind of past this, but it's not. So that was just an observation how those mindsets somehow remain relevant, despite that we seemingly understood them before.
Mhm.
So that's something I had in mind.
Thank you. Yes. Well, the reason why is because in our reactive mind, which is our everyday life, is a reactive mind, protective mind. It's normal. We're supposed to be there, right? We're supposed to be there, right? Those mindsets are different. And therefore, the moment we go into meditative state, the mind continues self-regulating, reactively. And guess what? We start recognizing our own self as existing during the meditation. We start co-creating our own self in a meditative state. And using the mindsets to utilize the meditation as a tool. Right? There's a lot more to this. We just touched it. Okay. So yeah, very good. At home, you can share with us a little bit later at home. We're gonna just move to the next level because otherwise we're staying here for a long time. You want to sleep here tonight? No, because I'm going through so much detail right now. Yes.
I was not feeling well all week.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I get a lot of pain.
Yes.
And so that stopped me from doing meditation.
Okay, so how, could you explain to me? So not feeling well and feeling pain stops you from doing meditation. Why?
I just I give in to the pain.
Mhm.
I take so many pain medication, and then I lay down and wish the pain would go away, and it doesn't go away. Then I got to take some more medication, and so then I don't do the meditation.
So here's what I recommend.
Or
Yeah.
the flu, but the pain, the physical pain, I always have it.
So here's what I recommend. I recommend to have a regular meditation regime, a regular meditation time, right? Either decide you're in the morning or before you go to sleep, and do the meditation no matter how you're feeling. No matter how you're feeling. If you're in pain, do it with the pain.
Like tonight, I have pain,
Right.
but I took my the medication,
Right.
and did this so that I could get through that program.
Yes, yes. Well, I appreciate that. But look, I'm not going to tell you or advise you anything about how you use your medication,
Yeah.
okay? But what I can say is this, that if pain or tiredness or emotional stress or mental stress or any other external conditions will stop you from doing your meditation, then you are guaranteed, right, to go in the wrong direction. Because you will never, never have the perfect, ideal situation in your life. Remember that your meditations, right, are to take you out of that condition. So by letting the condition control your routine, your meditation, you are doing literally the opposite. Right? Now, the reason why the pain could be interfering is because we have expectations of ourselves, of how we should perform during meditation. Because during meditation, I'm supposed to be all calm. During meditation, I'm supposed to feel the sensations, but this pain won't let me. During meditation, I'm supposed to have a calm mind, but my mind is not calm, so how am I going to meditate, right? So all of those reasons, right, will stop you from meditating. But what I've just talked about for almost an hour is that there is no condition. There is no condition to your meditation. So when you put yourself in a meditative state, guess what's going to happen? During the meditation, you will stop fighting your pain. Because I guarantee you that most of the pain, okay, is caused because you're fighting. The initial pain starts for one reason or another reason, where you may have some joint, discomforts because you've been in cold areas, yes? For a long time, you've been in maybe conditions that you may have developing some kind of arthritis, correct?
No, not that.
Now, what is it?
It's bowel pain.
Just bowel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what about the joints?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay.
I got fibromyalgia too, and it just travels all over.
I see. Okay, that's what I see. Okay. So, in any case, right, whatever that may be, what we're trying to achieve is this. What we're trying to achieve, what we must understand, and this is probably another very, very important thing, so please remember this. What we notice ourselves do at the level of the mind, how we are reactive and how we are fighting against pain and how we are, this is the pattern of our internal system as well. This is the patterns of our healing process as well. And that's a wrong pattern to heal. The unconscious level, which is 99% of your every moment's experience, is completely unconscious. And you would know how it's working based on how your mind is working. You came to me before the end of the last lesson, you said, how do I know? Right? How do I know that I'm at a higher level? Yes? You asked me a similar question, right? How do I know? How can I gauge? You don't remember?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Where were you? Were you here? No?
I thought you were talking with her.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, because it was not last session, it was a couple of sessions.
Oh, it was a couple of sessions. Okay, for me, it's the same. It was one last session. Anyway, so you asked me, and I said that the way we know where we are, the best way to know is how do we respond towards somebody who may not like us, somebody who may not have their best interest in mind for us.
That's another question. I asked you how,
Yes.
so you talk about what's the right direction in meditation, and I asked you last class, how do I know if I'm on the right track?
Right. That's the question.
When I'm not in meditation, when I'm in the real life.
Right. That's the question. Excellent. So how do I know that I am in the right track when I'm in the real life? In other words, how do I know, based on my reactive state and survival levels, based on my survival experience, based on my horizontal life, how do I know I'm in the right direction? And I said the only true way to measure it is how are you feeling, how are you truly responding, not how you know you should respond, but how are you really responding to situations, to people that may not have your best interest in mind, that may actually go against you, that may actually not like you or completely ignore you, right? Especially if they are close people and you have great expectations from them, especially the family members or friends. Yeah, right? Or mother-in-law or a husband or wife or whoever that may be, or girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, mother, father, right? So for those, how do you truly feel when they are not walking your way? Now I'll explain to you how that's related. So you gauge your response And then you know that that response is the same response in our internal system as well, towards what we consider our enemy is our pain. What we consider our enemy is our illness, emotional illness, mental illness, mind not being focused, not being, so we react to our mind, react to our discomfort of the body, to our digestion, we react to the pain in the joints, we react to the, to the thoughts that we have if they are negative, we react to them the same way as we react to the people that may not go our way, exactly the same way. And if we react that way, that means that we need more energy, more meditation, not less. Because by doing so, we change the way we respond. Right? We change the way we respond. I had yesterday in a session, I had a situation. Somebody asked me, one of the parents would actually constantly scream at one of the daughters, saying, "You see, you're no good. You should do better. Look at you. Why are you doing it that way? You're no good. You're no good." Right? It happens sometimes. We do that sometimes too. And we get upset that they're doing something that you told them 10 times, you warned them, they're still doing it wrong. How, are you not listening? What's wrong with you? This is how you always are. And we give them, and sometimes we even use derogatory words. Now, what does the child do? What does the child do at that moment? The child has one of the two choices. They either don't respect what the parent says and just ignore it and say, "I don't care what she says. I'm fine." Right? Which is not the idea. You don't want to be disrespected by your child, right? No matter what it is that you're telling them. That's not the way to continue having a proper, growth and communication with them, and right? You want the opposite to happen, obviously. Or they respect the parent and their opinion and agree that they're stupid and they're no good. No other choice. Only two, right? So no matter what philosophy you're using, there's only two choices. You either agree with the parent and then blame yourself, or you disregard the parent and feel good about yourself. Only two ways, right? There's a third way. But the third way can only come with expansion of self-identity, with growth. It cannot come by explaining it to a child. It won't happen. Because the way this child responds, that's the way they respond. It won't happen. By if and when the child starts doing the meditation, they very fast, with children it's even faster, they start expanding their self-identity. And by expanding their self-identity, they will start through the senses of the body, whenever the parent will give them that feedback on whatever they've done, at that moment, they will have a sensation in the body. This is how they will recognize what they just heard. Not only them, everybody, right? This is how we recognize what we're feeling in our body, in the sensations. You will recognize what you heard, and the moment they recognize it, when they expanded their self-identity, they will have a third choice. And the third choice is this. Wow, I understand where my mother or my father is coming from. They're upset, they're angry, they had a rough day, right? Oh, I feel so empathetic towards how they are angry, but I know they're not angry at me. I'm okay and they're okay. So instead of either blaming the self or blaming the parent by disconnecting with them and saying they're no good because they're saying that to me, suddenly this situation creates the complete opposite reaction. You become closer to your parent because you no longer only see yourself being blamed, you actually see the parent being in a difficult situation, stressed, tired, long day, angry about something else, having all kinds of maybe emotional or mental stress. But that can only be truly perceived that way when there's an expansion of identity through work on self. It doesn't happen on its own. And it doesn't happen because we will suddenly explain it to the child. Because explaining doesn't resonate. Because we don't identify, listen to what I'm saying, this is important. We don't identify ourselves at the mind level. At the mind level, we have great thoughts and great ideas. We identify ourselves at the body level, when there is a unity between what you understand and what you're sensing at the body level. If there is no unity there, then the mind is not enough. We know so much more than we do it. We know how many times we know exactly what to do, and we do the opposite when the time comes. We do the exact opposite. We know we shouldn't react, we react. We know we shouldn't worry, we worry. We know we shouldn't get upset, we get upset. We know we shouldn't eat it, we eat it. You know? So it's not about knowing. Bless you. It's not about knowing or understanding. Where I come from, when somebody sneezes, it's the truth, right? It means it's a sign of truth. So thank you. Did you do it on purpose? No. Okay. Why? Sneeze more often. Please.
It's almost like confirmation.
Yes, it is.
This is in Poland too.
Yeah, yes. Confirming the truth. Yes, absolutely. That's yeah. In Eastern European countries, I think that's where it's at. So yeah, does that make sense what I'm saying? The same thing with us. It's not enough for me to tell you not to react to your pain. No matter how many times I say it. If we don't stand up, close our eyes, and expand the sensations in the body, you will continue to react. No matter how much you understand and know. Very important. Because we're just like a child responding to the parent. The parent angry, our body aches. Same thing. We have two choices. We either, blame the body or blame ourselves.
I think if you're just doing by not taking it personally, training your mind by not taking it personally, repeatedly doing that for a certain period of time, you will get out of that reactive state as well.
It's an amazing idea, but you're still staying at the level of the mind. So suddenly what you've done is you successfully hypnotized yourself not to react. But that state is only superficial. It's almost like you have a crack in the building and you cover it up. But the reason for the crack was never addressed. The foundation is still going bad. So no matter how much you cover it up, eventually the foundation will collapse the house. Will crack it in two. So it's very dangerous.
So you were suppressing yourself.
Right. It's very, very dangerous to accept a situation the way it is. Not to react to it because you accepted it the way it is. Or didn't take it. What do you mean didn't take it personally? They were screaming at me. Why not take it personally? You didn't change the direction of energy. You didn't become more observant of the person. You didn't become more empathetic to the person. You didn't change your energy. You just disregarded them. You just disregarded them. You just made them non-existent.
So it's kind of avoidance.
Absolutely. Avoidance mechanism, if everything else fails, do it. But that's not what we're doing here. We're not here to sweeten, a sour apple. We're here to grow sweet apples. Right?
So to build that connection with a heart level with another person.
Well, that's what it looks like on the outside. That's just the evidence of it on the outside. But the other 99% of what is happening inside of you is not seen and not evident. But that is the most important. It really is not important if you scream at the child or don't scream at the child. If it does not hurt, if that is not a wound that goes as deep as every single experience that you're having, period. Experience with self, not only experience with others. Yes.
So I like your comment, but is that what happens is when you work on the mind, and the more you work on the mind but don't change the self, isn't that where you suffer more because there's such a disconnect?
Well, eventually it blows up on you.
Because the more you know that this is the way you're supposed to be acting, but it's not the way you feel, then it's like then you just feel worse.
You eventually become, yes, you become angry at everything. Eventually become angry at everything because you're not living in the truth. You're not living in the truth. You have to live in the truth. And what I'm suggesting is a method in which that new reality is true to you then, when you expand your level of the mind. And that is just an example of a small example of a physical experience. But imagine that we are a much more complex and beautiful system. And we live in a much more complex, outside of time experience at any given moment. I'm just suggesting a certain example to almost just give us a sense of understanding, the bigger picture of our internal experience.
But it's the internal experiences expression. This is the only way doing this type of meditation.
I don't know any other way.
Are
If you know,
doing other things?
if you know any other way, you share it with me. I don't know any other way. I don't think that there is, there should be another way, because we have the body and we have our senses. What else do you have? Do another way. What else do you have? You have something else? Tell us.
No, just going to, no, I don't have anything else.
Okay. we're living, I'm sorry, we're living in the truth and reality. And they said, right, the truth will set you free. This is the truth. We're looking at the truth, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, what you said, isn't it also, the meditation also brings about, like if someone has a physical pain or is diagnosed with something, that's really, the body's talking to you, right? That's a sign.
What sign is
Maybe
it?
I'm using different words, but, okay, like for myself, to be.
If you have a back pain, let's
Hold on,
go
hold on,
directly. You have a
hold on.
back pain.
To be, okay, so maybe your body, I don't have a back, but.
Let's say you have a neck pain.
I don't have any pain.
Okay, you have a knee pain.
No.
You have an emotional pain.
Yes, I have had.
Okay, so let's say you have an emotional pain. Which pain emotional? Let's work with reality. You want to give an example? Let's work with real, not hypothetical. So where is the pain? Is it in the chest? Is it pressure in the chest, or is it the throat? Where do you feel it in the body when you have emotional discomfort? Where do you feel it in the body? At the chest or the throat, or the stomach?
When I did the sort of more like.
Okay, in the stomach.
Like
Okay, so it made you feel weak, and it made you uncomfortable in the stomach, and you lost strength, and the digestion wasn't well. Yes, all of those things. And it was a sense of fear as well, inner fear. Yes.
Okay, yeah, the best example I can use was not now, but.
Far, a long time, 20 years ago.
No, it doesn't matter. Okay, when I did work, like I hit rock bottom and I felt immobilized.
Where?
I felt.
So where was the sensation in the body?
Like in my sort of.
In the soul. Okay.
And I felt like really.
Okay.
And angry.
Okay. So you're saying that the body was telling you something there. What was it telling you? That's your words. You were trying to, I want to bring you back to what you were trying to say.
Actually, what it was telling me, I had to make a decision. Either I hit rock bottom so low that either I was going to live, start coming up, one drop at a time, like you said, little baby steps, or really I was going to die.
Right.
Okay. The pain was so excruciating. Yeah, the pain was so excruciating that this was right after it was so bad that I went downstairs to the laundry and I opened the cabinet. I'm sitting there, on the toilet, and I opened the cabinet, and there's a little Mickey, and I don't drink, and there's a little Mickey of alcohol. The pain was so unbearable. My two sons were playing outside, and I took the Mickey and I started to drink. And I drank until really I got drunk. I was
Right. So how is it, with all respect, how is it related to the method of meditation?
So how it's related?
To the method of meditation that we just described.
So then, so to get the point, I did that for 3 days. And the third day, and I prayed. And the third day, I had a big aha moment. And that's when I really started.
You prayed for the pain to go away or for the pleasure to come?
No, I didn't pray for neither.
So what did you pray
for?
for?
Was, I got an aha moment and I thought, oh my God. And before my life, I lived more in the material world. And I did judge and I did all those things. Okay. And I got an aha moment and I thought, oh my Lord, like this is how, like, I can become an alcoholic. So like now I understand how people are alcoholics or how people are on the street or how people, I thought, I ain't judging anybody ever again. And then I thought and then I prayed and I thought, there must be more to life than this thing. There must be something more. So then I just got my journey. I was very, very hungry to learn and to just change the inside. Then I realized that it's in me. It's not outside.
So how is it related to the method?
I started to meditate. Okay. And then I started to meditate. Then I lived in an ashram for 6 weeks, whatever. Okay, then I started to meditate. I lived in an ashram. I had, and I really devoted. I stayed silent for 10 days.
Beautiful. So it was a reaction to your pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It was like, I was so adamant that there must be something more to this.
You just described the story of every single person in this room.
Exactly.
Because we all were in that moment at one point or another where we felt the pain and we felt at the bottom and we needed a solution and it humbled us, and it's everything that we're saying. Now, after that, after you're being humbled, the challenge is to remain humble when things are doing better. And just at the level of the mind to remain humbled is impossible. We need to have a specific technique, a specific tool that will allow us to move forward even when we're not at the bottom.
Okay, so this is what I want to say next, if it helps, like what I experienced for myself, okay, and I continue.
Are you answering to the question? Because I would love to hear your story. We just have a lot of things, yes.
So today I brought quinoa cookies for everybody to share. They're vegan just for the last night. So I find myself more and more, the more I meditate, I'm finding that I'm catching myself self-observation, like how I do things, what I do, or if I'm just, it's almost like it's somebody that's sitting on my shoulder watching me, right? And I've caught now, I'm able even to laugh at myself. So like today, I apologize again for being late. I disrupted the class, but I was late and I knew I was late and I was so nervous and I was going, oh my God, the cooks, and oh my God, and I was looking at myself almost like, and I started to laugh. I thought, oh my God, Lula, this is how you are. This is what you're doing, and that helps.
How is it related to the method of the meditation that we just described that has to do with the sensation of the body?
I self-observe myself. The more I meditate, the more I go inside, the more I'm able to.
You started, you said, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You started and you said that your body is trying to tell you something, right? Yeah. That's how you started this.
Right.
So the body actually has the pain. You started to say that the pain is actually telling you something. Now, I don't know how we got to this conversation. Okay, I'm trying to relate to the conversation that we had, which you started. The pain is trying to tell me something. Continue. And I tried to find where that pain is so we could find out what it's trying to tell us based on your observation.
Okay, for example, if I get the flu or if I find myself the sniffles, well, maybe it's, okay, so I just go inside and feel my sensations. Maybe I need more sleep. Maybe I need to just chill out one day and do nothing.
Right. So this is what you do during your everyday life.
No, if I come down with
Right, everyday life. You come down with the flu during your everyday life, not during your meditation. Suddenly you get a flu and you open your eyes, the flu is gone. That's not, right?
maybe I misunderstood what you're talking about.
Right. We were talking about meditation all this time.
Oh, okay, so the pain meditation, I just stick with it.
Right. So here it is. The difference is that when you come up with the flu and you have sensations and you're looking for reasons of your sensations and you're looking for solutions for your sensations of flu sensations, so forth, this is not what we do during the meditation. This is the opposite from what we do during the meditation.
Yeah,
Right.
the pain, I just sit with it, I accept it, I don't judge it, it's not wrong or right, it's not good or bad, I just
Right.
let it be.
So, okay. So you agree with everything we said?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about physical, sorry, okay.
I was talking about physical pain.
Okay, whatever, okay.
And I said that the physical pain will never disappear unless you take yourself into a meditation state and expand your self-identity, in which way you will no longer be reactive to your pain when pain happens. The same way you would not be reactive to your parent or to your friend or to your loved one. Not because you've decided not to react to the pain and pushed it from the important things to do, level, or kind of agreed that pain is okay. Pain is not okay. But fighting it is not the solution. And we gave that as an example 3 weeks ago in the martial arts, right? We gave that as we're repeating ourselves over and over again, but it's important. In the martial arts, we gave ourselves an example. Remember when we said somebody comes and he punches you, right? If you react to the punch, if you stiffen up because you're trying to protect yourself, right? Instead of becoming one with the experience, right? You observe the punch and you notice the sensation. And the moment you notice the sensation, you take yourself into a meditative state. You unify with the experience, with the contact and the impact. And suddenly what happens is that you start sensing the rest of the body. You not stiffening the body. You're allowing, am I saying it right? You're allowing the body to freely self-regulate the punch, the impact. It self-regulates the impact. And as it self-regulates the impact, no matter how hard the punch is, right? The pain, okay, will quickly start dissolving. Am I right? And as it starts dissolving, it will leave absolutely no marks on the body. And we're talking about people who are, 200 pounds and hit extremely hard. You don't have to be 200 pounds, but to hit hard, but they know how to use their hammer, right? They know how to use the hammer. They don't just waste their energy. They give you an impact, and then you feel it not only on the outside, you feel it all the way in. Yes? Yeah. And some people can do it better than others. Can you do it? Can you put the energy in impact? Yeah. Yeah. And it just goes inside, and the person just has to go down. He has no choice but to go down. To otherwise they're gonna hurt too much.
Yeah.
If they don't go down, they're gone. They're done. Right? That's the key. If you resist the impact, listen to this. The same thing as we were talking about. When you resist the pain in the body, you crash the system. If you don't resist the pain and you allow it to self-regulate the body at the impact, you change posture, you change position, but you save the body.
But this resistance is still coming from the mind.
Right. This is why we just described it. You don't become a master in martial arts just because you know the concept. You have to do it through practice. Drop, by drop, by drop, by drop, until what you understand becomes an internal experience, correct? Until it unites. And when it unites, you don't have to think about it again. Then you think about other things. Then you're not even concerned with the person who's punching you. You're looking around and seeing what's happening. What else is happening around? Yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah.
So once you know what's known already is no longer an enemy, because you know how to work with it. It's the surprise that you are avoiding.
Just like the example you give to us about the light to the darkness, right? That room.
Absolutely.
You don't have to use all the technique you have learned for the
Right.
dark room, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Otherwise, we're still fighting the darkness. Absolutely. No more darkness. Right? But we should not concern ourselves with our physical world when we are doing meditation. Those are two separate experiences. Don't worry about the physical world. Right? Because in the process of the impact, right? When the body guiding you through, when you expand your senses of the body, okay, you will naturally become wiser, for a good word to use, wiser in your experiences. Naturally become wiser. Wisdom is really can come down to expansion of sensations in the body.
How could you explain those people's master they just go on the mountain and they meditate for 21 days, they got enlightened?
The way I understand this, that the story that you are telling me, right, is told from non-master. Not because me as well. I'm not the master. I want to hear the story from the master. What was their intention? What was their technique? What was the reason why they had to do it? How did they experience it that time? This is not what we see on the cover. They went for 21 days, they became enlightened. That is not true.
Or they just went up their stairs, right?
That is not true. The way we describe it. It's not the truth. The way we describe it is not the truth. That's what I'm saying. What's true is of what they would say and the way they would understand. Because I guarantee you that if that master that you're talking about, which is a story, right, that's been told, if they sit here in the room, none of us will understand what they mean by being enlightened.
And I don't think you're going to become enlightened in 21 days. Do you?
Enlightenment has nothing to do with days.
Yeah.
Let's say if I come to you and I say I want to learn martial arts, and I learn in 2 years, in 1 year, in 5 years,
Depends.
right? Depends on so many things. Depends on your level of desire, number one. Depends on your level of commitment, number two. Depends on your level of trust in the person who's leading, number three. Right? Depends on your practice, the number of times you actually do it. Okay, you can have all of that and do it once. Depend on the repetition, right? So all of those elements, right? Depends maybe on the group that you're with and on the skill level of your master. But those are the last things, right? The first things are your internal acceptance of the new and so forth. And your acceptance of the new will only be determined by your level of desire. Your level of desire is number one. This is why when you drop to the bottom in your life, where's your level of desire? At the highest level. So to guarantee that your level of desire is pure and you're humbled, you have to be at the very lowest level. Or do the meditation. Or go to the lowest level. Or do the meditation. And you don't have to go low because, not because I said so, but because in the meditation, the first thing that we do, we stand up and we free ourselves. Because during the meditation, we accept the truth of the moment as it is. Because during the meditation, we welcome the new. Because during the meditation, we don't judge ourselves by our past. Because during the all of those things that I'm saying right now, because during the meditation, you humble yourself against your higher wisdom of the body. Because during the meditation, you don't rely on your knowledge and understanding, which is the experience of the past, but you open yourself to your higher potential. Because during the meditation, you're not using only your survival energy, but you have learned through the moment of connection, through what we have. By being here in the room, I literally raise your quality of the energy and give you the sensations of the higher vibration, which become yours. I don't talk about it a lot, but this is what I'm doing. I'm literally raising vibration, just like using a language to tell you words. I'm raising vibrations, and it becomes a sensation in you, which now is yours. Now it's your sensation. You see what I'm saying? So this is why meditation is so powerful, because it answers to all the proper mindsets. If you don't use those mindsets, your meditation will not take you to those levels, and it will take more than 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 years. It doesn't matter until all the elements of all the mindsets that are necessary will become part of your practice, and until there's enough times of practice with the higher level of mindset that will take you and expand you to that level of the master. Okay, so okay, now all of those things we needed to do today. Those are important things. Those are important things. Yes. My clock still the same. It's going backwards still. Yeah, very slowly, but going backwards. It was 7:30 when we started, right? No, the battery is working. I think somebody tried to fix it without fixing the battery. That's my opinion, my humble opinion. Somebody tried to fix the clock without changing the battery, and now the clock has suffered. That's my, my educated guess. So here are the things that I wanted to explain. Again, to answer one of the questions we had last time. Where is there's two things that I still wanted to explain. This is dry erase. Let me put this here. Okay. So what we wanted to talk about is the levels of advancement in this work, the levels of advancement. And I actually drawn it, just people were already leaving last time, and I drew it, and I said that our whole process of teaching is based on 3 elephants. It's standing on 3 elephants. All 3 elephants are holding us at the same time. Okay, and I'm gonna attempt today, I don't think I'm gonna be able to draw a nice looking elephant. Okay, but it's okay. 1, 2, okay, and which way is he facing? It's facing that. Okay, 3 elephants. Okay, so first elephant, okay, is the first stage of our development. The first stage of our development, and it is in the development, and I'm talking about the development in our meditation. So whatever we were doing right now, okay, up until now, we're writing or making sure that we are working with the first elephant, which is the reactive state. okay? So we wanted to make sure that we change the quality of our energy, okay, to a level where we no longer inflict, okay, new agitations, okay, onto our system. We don't block ourselves further than we already have. In other words, somebody comes and he screams at you, right? At work, at home. Somebody comes, blames you for something you did not do. Right? That's the worst. Worst. Or somebody does not appreciate something that you worked so hard for. Yes? You know those moments? Those are the most challenging moments, right? So you try so hard, you give your heart, and not only that you don't get thank you, they completely ignore you and maybe even blame you for doing something wrong or for not trying hard enough, right? Often happens. Those moments, okay, we need to make sure, because those moments, when a person either physically abuses you or emotionally abuses you or mentally abuses you, the abuse happens once, okay? But the initial reaction to it is what blocks our karmic screen, okay? We react to it, okay? And we literally block more of that light that's coming in. That, by reacting to it, by reacting to our pain, will literally, whatever that pain is, or a person, will literally create a new block to the light. From that point on, every single thing that ever happens in our life, in our room here, didn't fall. Every single thing that happens in our life, in our room here, would be now in greater darkness. Would require us to be much greater experts at overcoming obstacles because there's greater darkness.
So how would you explain, for example, you just said, if somebody does not react, but they just become numb, they're just numb. So
Or they're numb.
How does that relate to, like how?
Well, because numbness is not truth.
Okay, but say if a person's not, if you yell at someone, they're not yelling back at you. They're just.
Okay, they're getting back at themselves at that moment. At that moment, they get back at themselves.
So if somebody's numb, they're getting back at themselves.
Absolutely. They're pushing it deep inside, and on an unconscious level, they're continuing to hurt themselves exactly the same way. It just on the external level, it looks as if they didn't react. No, Because to numb means to separate yourself from others. That's the only way. You become separated. The goal of your life, the purpose of your life, is to get closer connection, to be more open to others, to be more receptive to what they say and why they say it, to be more empathetic to their needs and not only your own. Here you've created the complete opposite. You became only empathetic to your needs. That is the complete opposite. And that is the true closure of your karma. So numbing yourself to that is the ultimate closure of the life. Well, it's not only self-sabotage. Everything is to a degree self-sabotage. You're right, but it's the ultimate example of how it is to go against your growth. Growth is to be with, to be recognition of others, to help others, to inspire others, to be more present with others, to do what collectively we can do, that an individual cannot, to raise yourself to a level where you add yourself to them and not separate yourself from them. So that artificial numbness to all things is a ticket to the opposite direction. So the first thing that happens when we expand our self-identity, the first thing that happens, that we become truly less reactive because we become in greater unity with self. Right? in martial arts, and I'm sorry I'm using you as an example. I just think that it's much clearer than in everything else. If somebody comes and we talked about it already, becomes angry, so they come angry and they come upset. They cannot let go. They get hurt. They come out with bruises that day, right?
For sure.
You see, what we are doing by the more we know ourselves, the less we upset at ourselves, the less we sabotage ourselves, because that's what we do on a daily basis. Every single moment we judge ourselves. The less we judge ourselves, the more we are true with the moment, the more we are able to see another person, the more we are not reactive to whatever situation comes our way, including our own body giving us pain and discomfort. Right? So the first thing that we do is we work with that reactive state, not to inflict further closure, not to close more our karmic level. That's the first thing that happens. Once we surpass that level, then and only then, so that's number one. Then and only then, okay, we can move to number two, which is starting to gain the levels of energy to be able to work with the past reactive states of this lifetime. We all here arrived to this room with history of many years, of many moments of reactive states, that we've created closures in our karmic level. Before, the first thing we do, we don't create new ones. The second thing we do, we start reversing, clearing, cleaning the ones we've created in this life. And after that, the final stage, okay, is we start, so this is physical past, okay, that we've created in our physical past, okay. Remember the lifeline, and I've drawn. We are born here, and this is today, okay, and there was a whole lifetime of things that happened, okay. So there was, first we make sure that as we move forward, we don't create new reactions to close us more and more and diminish our experience more and more. Then we make sure that we clear all that which we've experienced up until this today. And the third is we start working with our past karma, past life karma. In other words, with that, with those predispositions that we came here with those challenges that we have carried and brought into this lifetime, from that which was not resolved in the past. Now, you can scientifically look at it as genetic predispositions. You can scientifically look at all those traits that you have similarities with your ancestors. You can look at that this way. Or you can go deeper into that and expand it to recognize, depending on how you view your life. But it really wouldn't matter. It will still stay the same. That you are here as a continuity of your past generations or past life.
So they don't have difference, like your past life or your ancestors. Are they different?
It's a little bit different. it's a little bit different because your ancestors are just a small sample of your past life. This is how they gave you the physical elements, but there's a lot more to it. Okay, this is how you received it. This is why you had your parents the way they were. That makes sense? You had to have, we have to have some physical evidence to energetic truth. Remember the order of things. There's karma, and then there is the physical world. There's emotional states and so forth. So you have to have a physical evidence to manifestation of karma. So you can't just have karma not manifest through physical world. It's just, it is so accurately working together. I think the challenge, and I know you still have a question to that, I think the biggest challenge that we have in answering these questions of whether my past life or is it my ancestry or how does it go, I think the biggest challenge is here, that we need to constantly remind ourselves that our life is not our own. It's not for us only. You don't exist here just so you can satisfy your own needs. Because the moment you do that, everything falls, including your health. We have personal karma, we have family karma, we have karma of the nation, and we have karma of humanity. They all have to be satisfied. Because we are still resolving our reactive states, then we only can understand our own self and our own needs. That's why we are still so reactive, and it's so hard for us to understand the difference between our life and the life of our ancestors, and its relevance and its connection. It's very hard for us to understand that, no matter how much I say it. To truly understand that, you will have to embody it through inner work. So truly, the connection between the reactive elephant, the moment we resolve the reactive elephant, at that moment, we are ready to start tackling the family karma. So this is personal karma, and this is family karma, and this is karma of nation, and this is karma of humanity. Okay? And this is family. So the first stage of this work that we have done up until now was solely focused on resolving personal karma. We haven't touched family karma. We haven't touched really the state. We've just reached the state of being able to work with the physical past. Why? Because the moment that you reverse the energy flow, it's only then when you can start affecting other people around us and your past that has to do with your ancestry. Until you're just receiving, which is the things we don't do really in our meditative state, even though we say, I want to receive a lot of energy, it is very confusing to many. Because even though you say, I want to receive a lot of energy, you are still in a higher state.
So at what stage can someone break a cycle? So say, for example, somebody's an alcoholic, right? And they want to break that cycle. Say their father was an alcoholic, or their grandfather, I don't know, smoked and drank. And so
alcohol is not something we need to break.
Okay.
What we need to break is
addictions, I mean, or
right. Well, what we need to break is the guilt and the shame.
right.
We're all equal in that. Some have alcohol addictions, others have shopping addictions, others have food addictions, others have sex addictions, others have addictions bullying others, always trying to make others smaller to make themselves bigger. Others and all have addictions of bullying self.
Okay, so my question is, in that cycle, where would one have to be in that cycle to change those patterns or to change that karma?
I think,
maybe I'm not asking.
yeah, I think any form of addiction can be broken somewhere within the physical past, somewhere. It's very hard to break it here, but the moment they surpass return energy and start working at the higher level and practice it, not surpass in learning it, not surpass in coming to class and hearing me say it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 weeks. Finally, you heard me say it. We've reached a level in which I explained return energy. Congratulations, you know it exists. That's not the level is when, through practice, they expand their self-identity to a point where return energy becomes a natural process at a higher level. Each person is very unique, right? The truth is, the more challenging cases are of a more advanced people. Those people who are most challenged, they're also the most advanced when they overcome it. If it's easy for you, you have to challenge yourself. So the more challenging it is for you right now, the more potential you're carrying inside, not the less. So it would, in a sense, you've accumulated so much emptiness that once you fill it, you will be much higher than an average person would, without having to overcome anything. But it requires all of those elements: desire, dedication, practice, sacrifice of some sort, yeah? Sacrifice is an indicator of the ability to give something valuable to you away. That's sacrifice. Valuable to you away. You're not willing to give something away. You don't have real desire. You're not hurting enough yet. All right, so that's the story.
And then
Yes.
I've met, okay, then how do you explain, so what you said is right on, but how do you explain then the opposite, where there are people that, say, for example, go through what you just said, or are as challenged as you just explained, everything you explained, but what they end up becoming is like very bitter, very resentful, like very
Did they do return energy?
terrible.
Did they do return energy?
And, hold on, and they're very, very stuck. So the only way for them to get out is to do return energy.
I don't know what they did to get out. I'm asking, are those the people that come here and specifically? I'll tell you exactly what they could have done better. But if you're telling me there were, people out there who were stuck and now they're more stuck, yeah, there's a lot of people who are ill and they're more ill.
There are some people that they experience the pain.
Yes.
And they use that pain to work on allowing their life to come out.
It's called reincarnation.
And there are some people that experience the same level of pain.
I understand your question right now. I understand.
They're not interested to allow
it's not their time. It's not their time.
Right?
It's not their time. It's not their time. For them to be born again, they have to die.
Yes. Okay. That's what thank you.
A lot of people will die because they're not willing to do what it takes. They're not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to do it because they don't feel it yet. They're not ready yet. If you're here, you're ready. If you're here, you're sacrificing something. Sacrificing your time, your money, your efforts, valuable things. you put your intention, you put your effort, you'll receive. Just because you're in pain does not guarantee you awakening.
No, true, yeah.
It has to be a special person in pain who's ready. And it has to come from the past. It's a continuity. Right? So, here's the important fact. The important fact is this. Just because you surpassed the state of number one of reactive state, it doesn't mean you don't have reactive states anymore. It means that right now your reactive states are a little bit different, and now once you're working on the physical past, okay, then as you get deeper and clear, now we're talking about clearing the light, letting the light through, right, through the karmic screens. As you're working on with the number two elephant, the number one elephant becomes stronger. You're not done with number one just because you move to number two. The only time you'll be done with number one is when you finish number three. For all the way, fully, right? Because it's all levels of reaction. Reasons why you react. Higher and higher perspective. It's not a black and white. It's not a done and finished and next level. Because those are just examples. This is just a graphic representation of one energy, of one light, of one quality of energy. Because it's all one energy. They're not separate energies, even though we're describing them as three different qualities of our experience. Here's the good news. Has anybody ever seen, and if I didn't show you, maybe you've seen it somewhere else. Has anybody ever seen how paper is folded? Have you ever seen paper being folded? No? Anyone? Seen? If let's say, you know, I fold this paper in half right now, right? Okay. How thick do you think it will be if I fold it 40 times? 45 times? How thick will it be? Huh? Very thick? How thick? Let's say 50 times I fold. I say 50 times for a reason. That's yeah. I just fold it. If I fold it 40 times, how thick is it going to be? How thick is it going to be? This thick? Those who didn't, yeah. This thick. How many say bigger than this? Bigger than this? Or about this? 40 times? 50 times? Yeah? Okay. Apparently, I think 48 times, about 48 or 46, I don't remember exactly. If I fold this paper 46 times like this, it will reach the moon. On the 47th time or 48th time, it will reach the moon and back. This will double itself, yeah? Okay, this paper, yeah? Now, just to understand how our mind works, what we really know and understand about life. If you fold this paper 48 times, or 48 or 47 times, it would reach the moon. And on the next time, it will reach back. And the next time, it will be again double that distance, yes? In other words, it doubles itself all the time. Now, energy and karma works exactly the same way. When we create one reactive state is like one fold, all right? But our reactive state is conscious, right? Every single reactive state that we have is just evidence of other reactive state that our internal system is going through any single moment. How many different experiences do you think your internal system will have to every reactive state that you have? Billions. This is why your reactive state, one reactive state, creates such a closure in your karmic level, because with each one initial reactive state, it creates a chain of foldings in the wrong direction, billions of reactive states, one doubling the other. That's why it's so powerful. This is not a hypothetical example. You react, and internally, your blood pressure, at every atom level, your body starts reacting closure backwards. And with each reaction, it grows. It's like a snowball effect in the wrong direction. So it literally blocks. Now, the good news is that once you start opening, it also opens in the same speed. Right? What does it mean, opening? Opening means that you suddenly no longer react. What does it mean, no longer react? It means that you're no longer concerned only about your own. You start sensing and seeing others. That's the opposite of a reactive state. When you give to receive, and not receive to receive, you start opening in the same rate. And clearing in the same rate. So that's a little lesson about how our mind works. We don't understand the power of every single moment that we're living. We don't understand the power. And we don't understand our true power when we're reversing the process. So when you ask how much time is needed, it's not about the linear time. It's about how many proactive states, how many states to a stranger that we're able to consider their need. How much we are able to consider a complete stranger's need. What does it mean, stranger? And I shared that with Radha the other day. Again, I reminded it again. What does it mean, stranger? I'm going to challenge you. What does stranger mean? Stranger is not a stranger that you don't know. What makes another person stranger to you? Listen to what I'm saying. This is probably one of the most important things I'm going to say today. What does it make? What makes a stranger?
You know their name, they're not a stranger.
That's a horizontal level. On the deeper level, I'll give it to you because it's hard. It's not possible to just come up with. Just trust me on that. A stranger is not the person you don't know. A stranger is a person who is at greatest energetic distance from you. Not at greater physical distance, but at greater energetic distance. The most opposite from you. That's stranger. A stranger, to some degree, is a person who you most react to their aggression. Not to a person who you don't care about their aggression towards you. That's not a stranger. In other words, a stranger, the greatest stranger would be what I've described before, is a person who's the closest to you, who you're most disappointed with. That's the greatest stranger. It's not somebody you meet on the street. Somebody you meet on the street, you have much greater empathy for often than to your own brother or sister who's failed you. So energetic distance. This is why we said the highest level is. So that's what we want to reach. We want to reach a point where we are not easily helping children somewhere over there while we are aggressive towards our own kind. And by that, somehow we save our karma, quote unquote, by helping strangers somewhere build a school. Great, help them build a school, but at the same time, you are hurting with your own family, or more likely, hurting with your own self. You're a stranger to yourself every day, folding your own levels, every moment, without realizing it. It became a self-identity that we completely change during meditative state. It became a self-identity. I am because I am so judgmental of me. I am because I'm so passionately aggressive, because that's me. Then you get ill. And then you fight your illness. Yes? So that who you know you are is just an attachment to a sensation of aggression that you got used to, and you determine that it's you. And that is what we melt away in the stages of the levels of meditation. Now we move. That's profound to me. Every time I share it, all of those things are just truly profound. I can't. 9:47 for those who want to know the time. Because I promise, because we don't have, I'm gonna call the time when we're at it. Now, a few things I still promised that I did not give you. One thing I wanted to share about why 3 wishes. Remember? We talked about why 3 wishes. And why every single story that we hear from back home, the story about the, you know the story about the fish, the golden fish? A man caught a golden fish and she gave him 3 wishes. Okay, how about the Aladdin? You know the story about Aladdin? He rubbed the lamp and the genie came, and the genie granted him how many wishes?
3.
3 wishes. Now, what other stories do you know with 3 wishes? Every single story, right? 3 wishes.
It's the same thing, like something happens and you can count it. Similar things will be 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So my question is, why 3? Why not 1? Why not 2? Why not 4? Why 3? Why all nations from all past generations seem to have agreed that a person, when they really are, usually the genie or the golden fish doesn't come to those who don't need it. They usually come to those who are just broken and at their last breath, and suddenly it arrives, the solution arrives, the magic arrives, and magic arrives with 3 wishes. Could anybody tell me why? Why do you think 3 wishes? What do you need 3 wishes? Just get 1 good one. Huh? Anyone? What I'm going to tell you right now is my opinion. So your opinion counts, then there's going to be my opinion. Why 3 wishes? I had to think about it. And based on what we've said here, I literally derived the answer to why 3 and not 1 or 2. So I kind of gave you a clue. Anyone can tell me why 3? Why do you think 3? Unless I told you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
If the first wish you wish for yourself, but then that doesn't work, and so the next wish you wish for a little bit to help a bit more, but it doesn't work, and finally the third wish has to be for the pure benefit of others, and that works.
Ah, she got it. Thank you. Do you understand now why 3 wishes? Because 1 wish for self is not enough, just like you said. Because it's usually the first wish would be, for me now, because I'm children, right? But after that, you're not out of the woods yet. You need the next level. And the next level is for someone you love. Oh, when I win the lottery, I'm going to take some for myself, and then I'm going to give those who I love, That's the second wish, right? And then you need a third wish. Because that is not enough too. Because you're not here for yourself alone. And the third wish is for a complete stranger. But not a stranger. You see somebody on the street, oh yeah, they look like they need it here. That's not a stranger. A stranger is for the person who may not have your best interest in mind. That's a true stranger. Who you have greatest guilt and shame. Who you have greatest self-sabotage because of. That's a stranger. Tough one. So that's why 3 wishes. Make sense?
And then that's interesting because it also relates to, like, for example, religions and, the cross, everything is 3 times, right?
Oh, we live in a 3-dimensional world. Our now is born from our past and our future. A tripod is standing beautifully on 3 legs, not on 2. It may stand on 4, but it doesn't need to. It's very stable. Because triangles is everything that is the most stable structures, right? Are made out of triangles, those who are engineering, mathematical backgrounds, and so on, because there is always birth. Electricity is a 3rd element of negative and positive. Everything is 3. Everything is 3. Right? The middle line is the most powerful line. But you can't have the middle if you don't have the very left, and the very right. You don't have a middle. You don't have it. Okay, so 3, everything in our physical reality is 3. Yeah? Because it gives birth. This moment is born. You are born. The new you is born between the tension of your higher self and your current state. That's how we do return energy. Return energy is the result of the tension between your current state and your potential state. Okay, so everything is in that. Now, the last thing that I promised you is I promised you what I believe would be the best routine, right, to do based on that. Now, so the best routine. Yeah, where battery. Okay. So the best routine is this. The best routine is something that was kind of a result of all the years of my work and my experience. It has to do with a morning practice and an evening practice. Did I spell right? That could be wrong. I don't know. Evening, is that right? Is an E there after the V? Yeah? Eve? Like Adam and Eve? Okay. So the morning practice, first of all, I believe that it would be great if you could have a meditation first thing in the morning and just before you go to bed. That would be the best way to do it. Now, I understand that you may not be able to do 2 meditations in a day because you may have a schedule that is extremely full. So then I would choose, one or the other, or alternate them, but schedule them in advance into your week. Literally schedule meditations in advance and create a sort of a routine based on your schedule. If you know your schedule, create a routine. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I do it in the morning. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I do it, Sunday, I do it at night or something, but schedule it write it in. Schedule it. If you don't schedule it, there's not going to be time. It will be too late. You'll be too tired, whatever that may be. If it's scheduled, you have a greater responsibility. So schedule it in. So if you do a morning meditation, then after, so meditation first. After you do a morning meditation, this is what I believe. So if you don't do the morning meditation, it's okay. So you start with number 2. And number 2 would be to literally have 3 completions. 3 completions first thing in the morning. 3 completions. And remember, when we complete something, what does it mean complete? In our meditation, complete means that we close our eyes, relax, and let our body guide us. We give a key. As soon as we give a key, we start listening to the body. And when we listen to the body, we sense the sensation of the body, and we also allow it to express itself. Yes? So the expression is the completeness. I'll go back to martial arts. If you do everything right, but you don't free your body, it doesn't work. So you have to free your body to complete. If the freedom of the body keeps you standing in the same place, it's fine. But it's the freedom that's important, not the outcome, not the result, not the sensation that's important, not the posture that's important, but the freedom that's important, the true element of that, okay? So the completion here means that you set your mind to do something and you take it to the end, to the action state. The physical expression is the action state of meditation, yes? So you take it to the action state, because meditation is a preparation, expansion of self. Now we take it into the physical world, we take it to the action self. So the action self would be A, B, C. To do something small, tiny. It doesn't matter how big it is. It could be small and literally insignificant on the physical level, as long as it's completed. You do something for self. Something small for self. And complete it. Doesn't matter what it is. No, this is after the meditation, number 2. Okay, this is in the action state, okay? In the physical state. In the action state. Physical world. Okay? So you do something for self, small, tiny. I don't know what it is. Something that you wouldn't ordinarily do, okay? So it's not part of your routine, something extra for self. Small. I don't know what that may be. Changes all the time. Okay? Give me an example of something.
I'm a bit lost. Can you give an example?
Of something for self? I don't know. For me, it would be, I have this favorite dark chocolate. Something good for me, so just for me. Instead of being angry at me first thing in the morning, why did you wake up so late? Why did you wake up so early? Why did you not complete it yesterday? Whatever you did, instead of doing that, do something small and complete it for self. Just symbolically. It doesn't matter what it is. Just like it doesn't matter what it is when you do meditation, what posture you're in, as long as you complete it, and as long as it comes from within, as long as it's for self alone, and as long as it's completed, you get the quality of the energy in the right direction, right? One of the 3 wishes has been granted. and completed.
But you can also ask yourself, like what I want for myself. Like as outcome of your meditation, you can ask what I want to do.
Right? You could do that too. I mean, thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah, you could do.
I thought actually that example with chocolates would not be completely right because we need to believe that it's good for us.
I believe it's amazing for us. A good quality chocolate,
Okay, so
one small
moderation,
square.
okay.
It's amazing for me. Maybe not first thing in the morning, but even that is, you know.
I met a friend
Yeah.
yesterday, and she talked about this small piece of chocolate, and you can get them at the Big Carrot. She said there's really good chocolate there.
Yes. Well,
Dark chocolate.
yeah.
So
So you can go and yeah, you can stock up for some chocolate next 30 days of doing things for self. Well, because you make you make a commitment. The next thing, right? You already know what it is. Okay, do something small, nice for a loved one, for a person who's close to you. Yeah? Something small. Send them a message. Write a little note. Hide something for them to find. Anything interesting, fun, small, insignificant, horizontally, but truly completed, and do it. Okay.
Really quick.
Yes.
Because it has to be outside of routine. So like when I go to work in the morning, I don't see my kids often, so I leave them a little note. So if I do that, does it count, or that's my routine?
Well, that would be your routine, but if you're already doing that, there's a question. I would like maybe for you to do it maybe extremely better, a little bit better than usual, right? Draw a little flower next to it, which you do it anyway. What am I going to do with you? You're already doing all those things.
No, I'm not doing the self.
Oh, the self you're not doing. Okay, so you missed the first wish. Doesn't count, right? That's it. You don't have it. And the third, do something first thing in the morning if you can, first thing in the morning, completion for somebody who may have not been there for you when you needed them. Send them an inspirational message, do something for somebody who may not have been, or for a stranger. Okay, so if you're already at a state of mind where you don't have people that you're really holding against, then do something for a complete stranger. You know, go into I don't know, on the internet, find an email of a person that you don't know, and send them something inspirational. Complete stranger, never knew them before. Send them, you know, a link to Karma Secrets. I don't know, something good for them. Yeah.
Like prayer count.
I'm sorry.
Send a prayer to someone.
Prayer counts. I would like it to stay at the physical level because how we pray is different. So I can't recommend a prayer and say you've done it, completed it, because a lot of times prayers are a little selfish as well. So whatever, you know, stranger. Once those three are completed, okay, you go into your day. They're small. They should take minutes, seconds sometimes. You know, it's not something very big. It doesn't matter how big it is, okay? So that's the morning routine. Meditation, 3 things you do. You're into your day. Imagine how you're feeling first thing in the morning after you expanded your self-identity and you have completed 3 wishes, which are of value, of, you know, of ancient wisdom. You're in a different energy completely. You're ready for the world because once you complete those things, in the process of completion, you find new energy. Not in the process of wishing it, not in the process of thinking it, not in the process of desiring it, not in the process of understanding it, but in the process of completing it. Then the evening routine. Okay, then you go through your day. So you have your day. And then the evening routine is probably even more powerful than this. You would think there's nothing more powerful than completion of ancient wisdom of 3 wishes that covers your entire karmic potential, right? Here's the evening routine. Before you go to sleep, I would say do a meditation, right? Okay, so that's what you do first. And number two, here comes number two. Number two, you take a piece of paper and you divide it into two, okay? And please don't confuse it with anything else that you've done. It's a little bit different. On one, you write things I did well. I did well. And the other part is things I failed in, quote unquote, right? Or things I did not do. I wanted to do and I didn't do, right? I failed in doing, yeah? And you list them. Just go through your day and you list them. The first thing that happens, right, when you list them, we know when it comes to a diary, you list those things out, you free yourself, right? Because suddenly you had an ability to express yourself, to share. You just shared it. That's why the value of the diary. You don't keep it inside, but you share it. But here's the most important part of it. The sharing part is just the initial. For things that you did well, okay, you concluded with this. I did them well, right? And tomorrow, right, I will do my best to do them even better. Hear what I'm saying? You did them well, but tomorrow I will put even more effort into things like that, or into completions like that, and I will do them even better. What does this do? This humbles you. Because the last thing that you want is to go to sleep with pride of I have done this whole thing, because what you're doing is, it's not that feeling is not good. That feeling is not good for a prolonged period of time, swimming in it, because everything is moving forward, everything is changing. You have to continue growing. Many, many people are still talking about the things they have done, swimming in them instead of moving forward, and they're suffering, they're stuck in their life, in their truth. That's real. So we don't want to be swimming. We want to humble ourselves on things we've done great by saying, I will put even more effort and do those things even better tomorrow.
So can you just repeat that sentence? So I did them well, and tomorrow I will do my best to do them even better.
Right. Yeah.
Put more effort.
Put even more effort into doing them better.
To put, tomorrow I will put more effort to do them better. Humble myself.
Yeah, you just naturally humble yourself on things you've done great. Is that part of martial arts mindset? Natural. Without that, can't progress. Okay. Then you look at the things that you consider failure in, right? And you just say, hey, this is how it was today. Tomorrow, I will do it better. So you're not punishing yourself. You're not blaming yourself. You're recognizing that which you could have done better. And before you go to sleep, you acknowledge that everything's okay. I will do it better tomorrow. And you're free. Free from nightmares, shame, and guilt. You're free of pride, and you're free of shame and guilt before you go to sleep. Because why? Because during the night, what happens? You rejuvenate for survival. You need the night to properly rejuvenate. Guess what happens in the night if you don't do those things? Both of them are extremes. One, in pride, you are holding yourself back. And in shame and guilt, you're holding yourself back. And then you go to sleep free, completely free. Then you wake up the next morning, you do your meditation, you do your 3 wishes, and you are. And after a few weeks of doing this, something starts happening. And this is what I recommend to people who have extreme cases of illness. Who have, I recommend it for everyone, but especially, specifically for people who have to overcome illness. Because if they only do for self, or they don't do for self, no matter how much we relax, no matter how good of a food we eat, no matter, you understand? This is real. This is not this is a real world. Our life is real. Karma is our own doing. It's not some word which is magically appearing. Karma is our own doing. So let's not create new issues. Because what happens is that we raise our levels of energy to a high level, and yet we go into our old patterns still. We're living our patterns. Now you're capable of more. Experience it, yeah. Work it, live it. And this is a way to ensure that you are safe and growing, continuously growing, matching your new self, that you're matching your new self, that you're not in a routine, in an old identity of shame and blame and pride. Yes.
Can you review the strangers? You said there were 3 of them.
No, one stranger only.
Oh, you said the one for something with energy.
Yes.
Then one that you don't.
No, I said yes. I said that there's different kinds of stranger. What we consider a stranger, a person we don't know, that we never met, that is a stranger. But there's also another kind of stranger, the higher level, is a person who we feel most resistance against, and that's usually a person who's closest to us, who we either angry at or disappointed at, or we feel shame and guilt for, and therefore listen to this. Very often we all are guilty of this. We have shame and guilt towards somebody, and then to make sure that we survive and protect ourselves, we find something wrong in them. And then we have a justification. We make them smaller to keep ourselves bigger. That's mental bullying, yeah? We make them smaller to keep ourselves bigger instead of raising ourselves bigger. And then we live another day. So we don't self-destruct, yeah? It's very...
Aren't these kind of people usually one's biggest teachers? Or one or something?
Or biggest destroyers of our life, yeah? Or the cause for the deepest illness and death.
Right.
Either or, yeah. But it's not them. Because if you move to another place, or they no longer alive, you'll find that other person.
Of course.
Because it's not them, it's you.
Yeah.
So it's not them the biggest teacher, it's we are in a state in which we, when they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, they appear in our life. When we are at our maybe darkest places as well. As teachers, yeah? Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So we're done, pretty much, yes? Pretty much done. I wanted to teach you how to manifest energy outside of our body, which is the very first step towards family karma. So first we enhance ourselves using energy outside of our body, and then we share it with our family and family karma. But that is another step. So as promised, I'll send it to you in audio. I'll send you the lecture, and I'll send you the meditation so you could learn it. Yeah. For online, because we don't have time. It's probably 10 after 10 right now, quarter after 10. Yeah, so we don't have time anymore today. Okay.
Remember last time you said you're gonna do a personal lifeline or something like that for each one?
Yes. So again, misunderstood. Lifeline karma. I do for those who join our yearly program, which is twice a month. Okay. So the way I do it is this. I actually invite you to my office. I set three appointments, private appointments with me. Usually they're about half an hour. Mostly they go a little bit longer. And the first appointment, yeah, I actually go through your lifeline karma and literally show you all the moments in your life. Okay, we do a meditation together, and I show you all the moments in your life where your energy was reactive by year. Okay, so you could compare it to your life experience. Okay, so I will literally show you which years, when, and if we want to go deeper, I could tell you even the month, and that in your past you were at the states of reactive states. Okay, then I will sit with you together and we will create a custom program for you, what I recommend you should do based on this and based on what I see in the general diagnosis and how you are in your progress. Because I could literally see, you could tell me, literally in that appointment, you could tell me, okay, Eric, I have been practicing, regularly from this day to this day. So I can actually go back energetically and see how there was progress in your practice and so forth. You could say, I didn't practice for this time. I could also look and see what happened in that time. So I could literally guide you and suggest what's the best meditations and what's the best program for you. Then 3 months later, I will set another appointment where we will look at the results that you have done, okay? And I will recommend adjustments and I'll answer questions. We'll have it privately, so it's a very more personal, because we've already looked at a lot of issues. If you want to share with me what happened then, you're welcome to. If you don't want to share with me, it's fine with me, right? But you will still see it. I will give it to you on a paper. I will mark it for you with the years, and I will show you on the paper of all those issues. And then we'll set up another 3 months and another appointment where again, we will go and look at your progress. That will ensure that you will have, accountability. That will ensure that you are not just arbitrarily doing, meditations, not knowing where you're going and how, and ensure that you have a certain measurement to your progress. And again, the most important is, of course, the accountability for that. Now, All those 3 appointments are actually included if you join the yearly program, which is twice a month on Wednesdays from 6:15 to 7:30. The group that before this, yes. So that is the program, and that's where. Otherwise, if I give any other diagnosis, it's I leave you actually more empty than with anything else, and it also requires time for me to work with you personally, right? To do that. So yeah, so that's the option that you have. Our next class is next Wednesday. So if it's something that you want, you're welcome. Tuition is $950 for the year. Yes, yeah, $950.
Class is 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Well, it depends. Well, just like our class here is supposedly, whatever time, and we always have a little bit.
And then we can join this kind of class if there is one.
I'm sorry?
We can join the class after that one.
Yeah, well, once you're there, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not, this one doesn't run every once.
No, this one is over.
Yeah.
Right? Do you want another class after this?
Yes.
Yes, you want another class? You want to join another program? You want to do an extension of this? No, but if you want to take it to the next level, I will teach you more. But I think I think you need a little bit of rest. I don't think you need another class after this. Another our next basically I'm going to send you the first lesson of the next class home. That's pretty much the creation of new energy would be the next course that we have. Okay, so that's King Solomon Magic, it's called. We work on that, but you'll understand more once I send it to you. Okay, but anyway, so that's your option to continue practicing and to make it, a real journey. For you.
So
Yeah.
the yearly program is that like year by year, or is like you can join at any point of the time?
Well, the truth is this. If you are here right now, and if you are dedicated to the work and you see the value in it, why would you join any other time but now? That's the truth. Everything else is just a story you're telling yourself. Okay, so if it's real. Now, sometimes because of the weather, we're live at your home. Okay, we're live on your phone at home, on your tablet at home, and you do it as if you were here. I recommend you to be here physically when the weather permits. The only thing that I say is weather, right? But I would answer your questions. I know you're there. I even let you come voice when you're long distance. But if you know it's for you, and if you really, really want it, why wouldn't you do it? Where are you gonna, how are you gonna continue your practice? If you don't want to continue your practice, I understand. But if you're really serious and you see results, and the only way to do it is to commit yourself. I'm doing that because I want you to commit to your work more than anything else. Believe me, this is not, a big venture. You know what I mean? It's not a big venture. It's not my life. This is here to make sure that those who really want it have the opportunity to take it to the next level. Okay, so. Okay.
Can
yeah.
we hear the two on how they experienced?
Oh,
Yeah, the two of you. Like,
Oh,
after,
so like
after you did this session here, and then you went into the yearly session.
yeah, like we did so many things.
reason why I like yearly sessions or like this yearly program is because even if I'm busy with my day-to-day activities and life takes me like I have family challenges or work challenge, and I drift from this routine that every second Wednesday keeps me like reminding me and shifting me back where I should be. And because we always then exchange information and like share experiences, like that collective group really, at least to me, what I'm talking is very personal, puts me to be again accountable to help myself. So like because I cannot lie to you, I'm not perfect. I started all this program because again, like Eric said, like something in life was so dramatic that we start seeking this was a very spontaneous, very humble way of again working on yourself and this trying to discover yourself and learn as you go, because this is the way how I'm seeing like this is life.
You want to hear attitude?
Well, I just found the value in just continuing to practice. And the yearly program being maybe one opportunity to keep doing it consistently and expand. And just for me, what came later after the level one, many sort of meditations, events where really something permanently changed. Like we did the meditation and there's often that high that sort of fades away maybe next day, but sometimes it does not. It just changes and just the world looks different. It happened several times over time. And I'm mentioning that just as a sort of to confirm that what kind of value I have found in it. And the would be yearly program when we did actually many like more advanced levels, but what would go beyond level one. I think we did like maybe 5 or 6 initially, or maybe some different flavors. And I just found a lot of opportunities to go further and to grow in a way similar to what we experienced at this one.
And if I may add one more thing, the most interesting for me at least was like through this experience I would come so many times in a class, not often, but it would be like let's say like 6 months is everything life is normal or crazy, and then it would be a moment when I would say, oh my god, I'm now on top of mountain. Oh, it's a beautiful view. But then I say, oh no, this is my new beginning. I'm again on the bottom. And then it's almost like humbles myself to start a new journey. And then being in a class and just by experiencing or exchanging experiences, then you become aware, because I don't practice any other modalities, and when you're in go mode, you don't. At least me, I don't stop and reflect. I don't write diaries anymore or express myself. But this program helps me, like from time to time, to say, "Oh my God, I'm where I didn't plan to be, and now I'm there. View is beautiful, but what next?" And then next is really humble yourself and you start from the beginning, and that's exchange. So I really like that.
Thank you. Because one of the most important things is not to be stuck in the ups and downs of self-sabotage. What she's talking about is to ensure that when she's on top of the mountain, she doesn't do what most people do when they reach the top. They find a way to self-sabotage and go back down. That she continues growing. So she's not stuck in the survival state.
that just reminds me of Miriam Williamson. She has a beautiful, we are always afraid, we are afraid of our light, not our darkness. I don't know if I part the rest of it, but it's a beautiful, and what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's not a conscious thing, right? So just it's not a conscious thing. It requires practice, and to ensure that you practice, to ensure that you continue receiving value. That's why this yearly program is here, right? To ensure that you don't fall back. To ensure that not only that you don't fall back, that you continue growing. Whatever happens after, and we will have some other courses offered after. That's up to you, right? You can take them. We have all kinds of different events that we have, right, together later. But once you're in the program, of course, you get all the benefits. And yes, when we have new programs, you're naturally invited to join us, at the levels that you already covered, yes.
So is the yearly program fit for people who were not in the classes who is beginner?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I mean, the yearly program.
The yearly program is only for graduates of the course.
Only for graduates from this
Yes,
course.
yes. No new people are coming to the yearly program.
Okay.
So it's an advanced class, if that's what you're asking. It's not a beginner's class. There's no new people showing up into the program. They only show up if they either taken private courses with me, and then they join the yearly program, or they have taken it with us in one form or another, and they completed at least return energy. If they didn't do return energy, they're not coming into the yearly program. Or some of them taken more, but what you've covered right now is the minimum
And
to
another
join.
thing is
I don't offer it. I don't offer it to other people.
Yeah, another thing is about the what would be taught in the yearly program, because I guess in that time frame do we do meditation? It's just one.
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same format.
Like,
Do you remember walking into the yearly program? You walked in. Remember? You walked in a few times. And we do the same way. We do meditations. It's always different. I always give you the latest of what I discover, and I teach it. What I discover, what I bring, I work every single day. I learn new things every day. But the most important thing is that in the yearly program, we connect the meditation with real life, just like we have to some degree in this course, that we connect your real life. It's very similar to what we've had, let's say, today. Today's class was a good example of what you would experience in the Wednesday class. Okay, so if you like today's class, that's something that you should expect. Except there's also meditation. We try every single time. Sometimes it happens that I have so much to share that we don't get to the meditation. But I've committed this year to start with the meditation. This way we will never reach a place. Yeah, so we always do a meditation. There's always something new. If for some reason you miss, there is a replay of it, video replay of it. So you can always complete it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's good.
So I brought quinoa cookies for everybody.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's number 3 already. Not number 3.
It's the gluten-free bacon.
Can you just tell me when,
Yes.
about in the morning,
Thank you at home.